California, I love you. I am sorry I don't say it and I don't behave like it enough, but I would give anything for you. And I chose to have my son here because I believe in you. And I have engaged in so much public activity here in this state. And you've allowed me to do that. And I felt cherished at times. And even though it hasn't happened lately, and I've been away so long, I feel so much better crossing the state line as I just did. And stopping to say hello to the fellas, the officers, checking produce, making sure nobody's bringing plants that are unhealthy for our state. And I miss it so much I can't explain. I cannot explain it. There are songs, of course, famous ones, and I've never written one, but I've thought about it a lot. The emotions I feel for this place are so specific because of my anger and distaste with what has happened over the course of my life as an American. Now, we moved here when I was 2 years old, just a few days before we landed on the moon, you know? I've been an American, or living here anyway, since I was 2. And I became a citizen when I was 14. In those 12 years, a lot became clear that different parts of the country are just not all on the same page. And Texas, for me, has never been comfortable or right. And when I got to Cali first back in '93 to live, I remember falling in love with that feeling that things are mellow and that, you know, you can be you here. And that, you know, all kinds of things are appreciated. Creativity and, you know, exploring. This is the state that has JPL in it, Jet Propulsion Laboratories. It's the state with Silicon Valley. It's the state with so much great intellectual and creative property that has spread across the country. My whole life, and even when I wasn't living here as a youth, I wanted to be here because of that. It's a thing I take great pride in. Just like I take great pride in the fact that I've lived more years of my life in this state than any other state. I lived in Texas for 10 years because my parents moved me there and I had to be in school. I did 4 more because I had to go to college. But I've been a resident of California now longer than those 14 years. And, of course, had a child with a Californian, and I'm the father of a Californian, born just here in Los Angeles. And I miss you so much. I miss you so much, I can't even express it. And one of the things I knew about this road trip was I needed to reconstitute this feeling I have right now. A feeling that I'm myself. The guy just now, the little young officer at the thing, I mean, it was just completely like I felt like I was back in Cali. He saw my plates, and I was like, yeah, man, this car's from Texas, but I live here. I didn't say that, but I mean, it was apparent. And we chatted, and it was nice. Oh, and wait a minute. I mean, I guess I shouldn't. This is the first time I'm in California since the passing of laws that I fought for, let's see, 1994 was the first time I voted on its behalf. So how long is that? 6 plus 17, 23 years I voted for legalization of marijuana in California. And right now, for the first time, I am on California soil with legal marijuana. You know, when you fight for something, even something like this, that to many of you seems trite, it isn't trite. And it is important. And there are health matters here. In any case, it's a natural product, and what Big Pharma is doing and has been doing is criminal. But when you win a fight like that, at last, there's a feeling of relief. And socio-political fights are marathons, they're not sprints. So you get on board to resist a war, for example, and you're still on board 16 years later. 2001 September, they bombed Afghanistan and began the endless war. And you can't give up if you're in opposition to that. You have to maintain your opposition to that. You don't have to do it so loudly all the time that you're screaming, but you have to know in your heart that that resistance is just, and find others if you can to collaborate with. And then one day, if the wars end, you'll get that feeling of relief. Like I'm getting from pot being free right now. That's what I'm arguing. You know, or when Mandela walked in my lifetime. So I was politicized by Nixon's resignation. I was a very young boy, but my father sat me down in front of the TV. I remember the blue curtain, the flags, him holding the paper, his jowls. I was a child of 8, but I knew this was a big deal, you know, and my father taught me well from a young age. I've been reading the newspapers since I was a kid, magazines that come to our house. And so I was politically aware. And then in my lifetime, you know, I took interest in things. I took part in social actions. I remember writing letters for Greenpeace in Austin, or, you know, doing different kinds of protests. In our time, it was very much about divestment from South Africa, because my university was one of the big universities in Texas, with all its oil money invested. And so our resistance felt small in that town, yet it was meaningful. And when Mandela walked in that February, and it was just the most amazing thing. And as we watched the freedom, if you will, and the changes in South Africa, it has felt good. Like one of the things in my lifetime that I fought, that, you know, we did it. And you have to believe that'll happen, and you have to keep fighting. And it may not happen in your lifetime, but then there'll be someone down the road who'll remember you fighting for it when the thing comes to pass. And that is very important for all civic-minded people, I think. These times are particularly tough with the slumlord in the White House. It's so painful most days. But this too shall pass. MTK, the Talktopus, feeling so good today back in Cali. I'm so happy to be home. So happy to be home, folks. All right, I'm gonna try to make Indio. I don't feel tired. The sun's not going anywhere near down. It's 9 o'clock at night right now, and the sun's at least, I mean, it's still pretty high up in the sky here. So I'm driving west. I think I'm just gonna maybe take the tempo up to 72 and cruise on out to Indio, baby. I love Indio. I love Palm Springs, that whole area, the quietude, the stars. Anyway, thanks, YouTubers. MTK the Talktopus, road tripping home in Cali, baby.